like that goes for a lot of people in life. If you're going to make friends, you should really, really think about what it is that you as a person bring to a table and what you two can accomplish together. And you need to think about the positives and the negatives. You can't just think about one or the other. And if your only positive at the end of the day is that I have this person to be with, you should stop.
Mosquito.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
Can you see me?
No, we cannot.
1 sec. My computer was open. My computer camera was open. Shut up.
Man.
How do I start camera?
There you go.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
Say hi. Everyone say hi.
Hi. Digging the plushies back there.
Yeah.
Chicky. This is the baby. We have Chicky and we have Kitty.
Yeah.
Oh no, our children are falling. How do we enlarge our screen so we can see what our composition is?
There should be a button at the top. Well, I have Mac, so it looks different for us.
Shit.
There
Fuck
should be
you and your stupid Mac computers.
a thing at the top that should enlarge the screen.
Okay, I see full screen, but we want to get full screen on ourselves, not you guys. We want to make you guys small so we can see what our camera looks like back here. Oh, is that it? Oh, yeah. She's doing it. She's smart. She's doing it. It won't get any bigger than that?
Probably not. Ours is like a little box over your face. Mm-hmm. So we see like one eye. So no, she really is Cyclops.
Pretty much, it's for them, not really for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We can't see ourselves, which is bad.
That's all right.
We just have to move the computer back further.
Yeah. All right.
You've still been talking about mosquito bites for a long time.
I've been getting eaten since I got here.
I told you to get eaten by mosquitoes.
Jesus. All right. So I guess we'll get started. So I'm the host, #Liizen, with our co-host, Miss Brittany, because she's forgotten her name. And we are followed by, who are you people? Introduce yourself.
Still, okay.
Who are you people? Introduce yourself. I don't have an online screen name. What the hell do you want me to say? My name is KittyChanNya. You can find me on Instagram.
There you go.
Yeah, but my YouTube has nothing on it.
Still, that's still something. Yeah, wait.
I am Todoroki Shoko-chan. You can find me on AO3. I'm just writing smart fix.
There you go. That works. These guys are fucking noodles.
I fix them not for the faint of heart. If you ain't into it, don't do it.
Jeez. Okay, so we're gonna cover the Raintime Part 2 today. If anybody has been there for Part 1, then you guys get the gist. I asked 3 special questions, and we have everyone go around and share their experiences on how we can relate the Raintime to our sickening thing called reality. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess we'll start then. So for question 1, William points out in the grocery store that they are above sea level. You know, he's going into this fridge. His drinking issues. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get me some beer. You know, I'll go up in there and get drunk. And he points out that we're above sea level. So why are we paying for water? Great question. So question number 1 for everyone here is, have you ever noticed something you feel nobody else has? Is that a hard one? I guess I'll go first then. Okay.
It wasn't hard, but no one else was speaking, so I didn't want to be the first one to speak. It's not my show, so I figured the co-host would go first.
I have a couple ideas in my brain, but I haven't figured out which one I wanted to talk about yet.
All right, I'll go first.
Yeah, you
then.
go.
Okay, so something I've noticed that nobody else has. That is a very hard question.
Why'd you do it then?
I was hoping you guys had answers, so then
I
I could.
do have answers.
Oh, then you can go first then.
I would say in terms of things that I've noticed that no one else has, I've noticed little things like audio cues. My hearing is more intense than what it should be, and it drives me a bit crazy. So everyone could be naturally having a good time, and I'm like, what's that clicking? It's driving me crazy. Or we can be in an air-conditioned room, and it'll be on full blast, and the sound will bother me before the temperature drop in the room will bother me. It's kind of hard to deal with audio distinction and stuff like that. So say you're having a normal casual car ride and you don't hear anything except the pavement going against the ground. I hear the pavement going against the ground. I hear the rocks that you're running over. I hear the seats vibrating. I hear the seat belt pulling back in when you go back too fast because we're about to have an accident. Whoop, whoop. But yeah, we hear lots of different things. And my brain just zooms in on them, and it's very frustrating.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. Kitty Cat, you got something?
Wasn't the same, but for vision, you see, well, for me, I see the littlest details. Like I could see things, like mostly things like from your glasses, from the background, and it's very annoying. Like I can see the littlest detail, and it bothers me. You can go as fast as you want. I can still see the little details, and it's just so
This one is an artist and has a great mind and a very beautiful level of eyesight. She can distinguish colors very, very well, whereas I'm not. I just see light blue, dark blue, pink, and white. That's it. I see basic colors. She can put names to colors in different shades, and I just can't do that.
I don't even think I can do that. I damn sure can't do that.
It's weird.
Yeah. All right, your turn. Because I ain't got Jack yet.
I don't have anything cool like them.
I know, right? They should just post
Ooh,
it.
we're autistic. There's a difference.
Probably like stuff that you notice when you're like outside. If somebody's wearing something that you can only really see.
Like clothes?
Yeah, or like if somebody has like a piece of their hair out of their pony, it's like that's bugging me really hard, but I don't think anybody has noticed that. I think that maybe that's kind of like one of those things, but other than that, I don't really know how to answer that question because it is a hard question.
Is the woman who walks into Walmart and stands behind someone and goes, "That's a nice triple D bra you have on. I can see the tag. I can see the tag through your shirt."
Yeah. I guess for me, I'm with the tiny details too. It's normally with other people versus myself. Like I won't say zero self-awareness, but it's when it comes to other people, it's pushed into overdrive. Like if I see somebody acting a certain way towards me, even if it's through like texting, I can immediately assess the change in their demeanor. So if I'm texting, say, one person and somebody else hops on, I'm going to immediately be able to see the difference between their text language, between the assumed emotion they're giving off. And then with people in like stores and stuff, like if somebody just stole, everybody else is going on about their thing, I'm going to notice that, there's this one guy in the back hovering, doing something he ain't got no business. I've done it before.
Very interesting point. The other day we were at the train station and we saw a guy who was acting kind of fishy, but he was acting fishy near the train tracks and we're about to get on the train, so obviously you don't want to do that. So cue me walking around the station with this one behind me in tow as my loving and professional bodyguard. And I'm recording on my phone while pretending to take a selfie of this guy, and we get on the train and we show it to the people and they're like, well, this is amazing because we always tell people if we see something, say something, and no one ever says anything. So thank you for bringing the video to our attention. And the guy had actually gotten on the train with us. Now, we don't know what happened to that dude after we got on the train, but all I know is that I saw him fidgeting around by the tracks, touching stuff on the tracks. situation. It didn't really look right. Using a UV light on the ground, and it was crazy.
I just assume he's on drugs or he's very on edge or something. Did I get very weird? And I was just waiting until he tried to attack me. I was literally waiting.
This one would have had my back had anything had gone wrong. But yes, it's very interesting to notice the patterns in people's behaviors versus one another. To have that distinction in the observation skills to say that person isn't acting right when you know what is normal behavior in a situation. Granted, even you and I don't correctly act right when we're outside because we're all like,
yep, weird as hell.
A normal level of weirdness, I like to believe. I like to choose to trick myself to believing.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a good cause because in the game we see that over time, you know, William, our main character, he's noticing and taking a lot of detail in. At first, he's a little fidgety with it. You know, he's your usual, oh, that lady's got a long trench coat. To later on, he's, oh, that bitch is sloppy. She's fat as fuck. Her fat's hanging out the side. I can see her coin purse. It's imprinted in the side of her fat. She looks like a slut. You know, like he really goes in on people, you know. That hard attention to detail is pretty intense.
I don't want to jump the question ahead or anything like that, but as far as Lars goes, I feel like Lars really twisted his perception of women, and that was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, Lars, he does that quite often, actually. Saying things, you know, the power of suggestion.
Saying things, and it's just bad because William, as much as he pretends to be a dude who's not exactly put together, he is still an adult who can form his own decisions. And his decision has been to go along with whatever his biased friend has decided to say to him. And it's like, well, maybe I should stop being as nice. And I don't see why that was even a possibility for him to have that train of thought in the first place when it wasn't something that was already initially in him.
Mm-hmm.
He became affected by his friend, and I don't think that's okay for him as a main character, but that is an element of realism in the game. Sometimes people's perceptions about other people do change when they hear from outside sources what they've been like and what they've been doing, what they've been through, and how they interact with others.
Yeah, but yet it was his friend, so he's not going to quickly say, hey, why are you doing all this? Get all up in his face. Like normal people probably should.
Yeah.
Because it is his friend. He just knows exactly what to say to bring him down.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really sad.
Both
of his friends did that to him. They just started beating him down throughout the whole entire game, and it's really depressing.
Yeah.
That I can say, I do not enjoy William and Lars' relationship. Maybe there's a redeeming factor later on, but as far, I haven't seen it yet, and I don't approve of it. I feel he's been nothing but negative and toxic for him.
I don't think there's ever going to be a turning point. I think he's just going to keep beating him down until Lars either walks away or William steps up.
As a guy who's played the entire game, I can tell you, I don't think there's a turn back factor either. It gets a little intense later on, but we'll work on it.
Thank you.
So our next question, you know, during the coffee break scene where Bernard and William are just, you know, chilling, relaxing. William's trying to waste a little bit of time before class. So Bernard starts to give off this vibe to him that you can tell it's making William very uncomfortable. So the question becomes, have you ever found yourself wanting to avoid someone to the point of leaving a conversation? It could be a group chat, or it could just be simply turning around and saying, fuck you, and walk away. Have you ever felt that way?
See, okay, go ahead.
No, you go first.
For me, I've not situation because I'm not exactly a person who has an open social life. At this moment, my connections are the person sitting next to me and you guys over there at the computer screen. So I can't really say that I've had moments where I've had to walk away from conversations because I am the type of person who puts myself in a position where I can talk to people who I enjoy. And if I personally don't enjoy that person, I'm not going to force myself to spend time with them or anything like that.
Pretty straightforward. Come on, Kitty.
Okay, the difference for me is when I was actually younger, I was actually forced to interact with a bunch of people, and since I was at that level where I couldn't really speak up for myself, so when there was actually a time where I actually had that opportunity to walk away, I would either walk away really, really fast and try to hide, or I would just break down inside. But since that is his friend and he's kind of making him uncomfortable, but I don't know why he wouldn't just tell him since that is his friend. Or just say, excuse me, I need to go, I'm not feeling well or something. He just stood there and just took everything he just dished at him.
Yeah.
Which is more beating down on your friend's self-esteem.
Yeah.
And it's like it feels like none of his friends really care too much about his feelings at all. They just see him as a punching bag, something that they can project all of their anger, their hostility, their bias onto him.
Which is very interesting that you bring up that point, because here we go, a couple minutes later into the chapter, we see William himself exhibit the exact same behaviors towards the guy that gave him the pamphlet. He turns around and he goes, and he decides that I've had this really shitty, terrible day, and subconsciously, it's not like I'm consciously making the decision to do this, but hey, this guy looks like a nice target. Let's annoy him. Let's get under his skin. Let's do things to make him uncomfortable. And all it's doing is him pushing off the pain that he had for the day onto someone else before he's about to receive even more abuse later. We see the input-output mechanism of him dealing with his stress in ways in which he can't just self-medicate and just drink himself to death. It's pretty bad. That guy did not deserve what happened to him.
No, he did not. All he was doing was handing out flyers and William Stone was like, I'm gonna act before I actually think about the consequences. I feel so sorry for that guy. He was just giving out pamphlets. That's all he wanted to do.
He wasn't even really interested in the job that he had, but he was doing it. And William is a classic case of a customer who comes into a store
and
makes
him a manager. He's a Karen.
Karen, yeah. We just seen Karen last night. Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
It was
insane.
irritating.
Oh, Karen's.
It's an example of a guy who comes into a store and tries to return an item that he's had for more than 30 days without a receipt or without his ID.
Or just walk up to the cashier and ask for something, but then turn around and say, well, you didn't make this right, or you didn't get my order right. And just try to pick a fight. He just wants to pick a fight because he's angry. Why not? And it's just, you need some help.
He's got drinking for that. That's his power.
Drinking does not help him. It just exacerbates the issue.
Yes, it's just making everything worse. And it's just going to make him, it's going to make him resort to something bigger than drinking later on. I keep hitting it.
So, yeah, I guess my personal thing, I have a very quick temper. I can go from 0 to 1,000,000 in under 0.00002 seconds. You know, it depends on what it is that I might be arguing about. But I've had cases where I've wanted to take a man's head and put it straight through a fucking wall. So I had to literally drop myself 1,000 feet, say, hold up, self. We can't kill this person. You don't look good in orange. You don't need to be somebody's bitch washing their underwear. Just back away. And dude steady calling, yeah, you're a little pussy. You ain't gonna do that. And I'm thinking, dude, you don't know what I want to do to you right now. I want to take this butterfly and shove it up your ass. Yeah, I wanted to fuck his ass up. And I said, you know what? They say the bigger person is the one who walks away. Because that person really, truly is. Because there's so much internal dystopian that you just want to just fucking rage and just start socking the shit out of somebody, but you're stopping yourself. It takes a lot of self-control to not put somebody's head through a fucking wall.
But sometimes it's really hard to always be that bigger person. If you're constantly being that bigger person, it doesn't matter if it's like a good thing or whatever. Like, when you are fighting with somebody or whatever, when you do walk away, yeah, you are the bigger person. But if you're constantly getting into the same fight, or even if it is a different fight with a different person, you're constantly being that bigger person. It gets draining after a while. So it's really hard to.
You're just like, fuck it, I'm tired of being nice. Wham! Just right in their damn face.
Exactly.
Here's what I have to say on being the bigger person. If it's an unprecedented situation, then fine, you can consciously make that choice to walk away. But if it's, as you're saying, it's a constant thing that keeps happening, this is the point where, from my perspective, I question why have involvement with that person in the first place if you know it's going to constantly put you at a disadvantageous situation. I've seen people do this a lot, and the main people that they do it with, if not their bosses and coworkers, they do it with family. They have family members that blatantly take them for all their worth, and they turn back around and they accept them, they forgive them, and they go on with communicating with them when it's really a relationship that should have ended years ago.
It's basically the situation where you either choose to walk away or break away. And that type of situation she was just talking about, you literally have to just break yourself away. Just break off.
Because going back isn't going to ever make it better. People need to know how to cut and dry their relationship. Stepping away from a relationship doesn't make you a coward or make you a person who can't accept other people's woes. It makes you a person who cares more about your mental health and stability to know not to put it at risk for someone who's not living the life that you're living.
Yeah, like maybe somewhere down the line you can try to connect again, but if they're just going to start this whole thing again, just stay away.
Vicious
think about yourself.
cycle.
Yeah, just think about yourself, because they just love getting into a fight with you, and that's basically what their hobby is apparently. So just stay away.
Okay, I like that. See, I like where this is going. We gotta do this more often.
This is kind of fun.
This is definitely not what I was expecting. I'm actually vibing with this. This is cool.
Yeah, like I can say personally, I had this ex of mine, which our buddy over there knows of, and yeah, she drove me through the mud for 3 years of my life. Constantly, just we were on and off and on and off, and it's like, okay, I love you today, but tomorrow. Yeah, fucking seesaw. Yeah, this tilt-a-whirl just constantly, you know. And at that time, it's like when you are in a situation, you don't really recognize the patterns that you start to exhibit. That you become literally a product of your environment.
Because I think when you're in something, it's really hard to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Versus if somebody is outside of whatever it is going on, then they're like, that isn't healthy.
Right.
But you can't see it because you're physically into that situation. So it's really hard for you to see what everybody's talking about.
Yeah.
This is where self-awareness really plays an important part. And this is why the way that I am with my limited connections, am the way that I am. There's no use to reach out and try to cultivate 10 million relationships when you know that keeping up with one is already a challenge in itself.
True that.
Everyone's like, you have to have friends to survive and stuff like that. And I'm like, you don't have to have friends. You can have a friend and still be okay. Or you can have no friends and you can be self-reliant. Or you can have 10 million friends, but those 10 million friends will never give you the relationship that you're looking for because you can't interact with 10 million people the way that you can with one-on-one attention.
Basically, you are not responsible for anyone else's happiness.
Exactly.
Responsible for your own happiness at the end of the day. And when William realizes that, I feel he'll be better and grow better as a character to understand that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but I'm pretty sure he'll be able to cope after a while. Just talk to somebody.
And do something about your drinking.
Yes, please. Like, calm down and drink some water.
And the funny part is I feel like if he had a voice, it would be the voice actor of Vincent Brooks. And he also played, what's his name? The main character of BeatStars. And this voice actor. Yeah.
Lagoshi?
Yeah, Vincent Brooks, same voice actor.
That's cool.
I feel like he would play our friend William because he's really good at doing drunk characters, dark characters. Vincent is so fucking dark. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, we don't really notice it too much because of all the things he has going on. You know, I feel like him and William would be great drinking buddies until Catherine shows up.
Yeah.
Then she'd ruin the whole thing.
I don't want to be off topic, but Vincent Brooks is a very complex character, and not a lot of people recognize that because they see the chaos that's going on outside in his life and the way that it manifests itself in his dreams, and that's really the more important part of everything.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be off topic of talking about our buddy William, because William clearly has some demons in his closet that he needs to let out and assess for himself.
Yeah, William is basically the younger version of Vincent. So.
Yeah, he will become drunk Vincent later on in his life.
Yeah.
Like, just, you know, when you have so much going on around you, it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't recognize, like, you're a strong fucking person. You're so strong because you can handle all of these things and still continue on in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we should give a round of applause to those people who have shit going on in their life and they're still able to communicate, whether they have those 10,000 friends or a single friend or themselves. The fact that life is just a bitch, and we see that in the Raintime. You know, he has these abusive friends around him who don't seem to respect him one fucking iota. You know, like they seem to enjoy his company, but only if it's rounding up drinks for them.
Yeah.
He has to fit into their lives, you know, and we will see that later on, just how much William really truly means to everybody. You know, that friendship will be tested.
Or in this case, how little he actually means to everyone.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the round of applause.
Yeah, good job, guys. All right, so yeah, we already started with question 3. So to go a little more in depth on that, I got my little handy dandy notebook this time. I don't have a piece of paper plate.
This isn't
Lars,
Quiz, right?
I know, right? It could be. Lars says to Will, he's a little too nice to girls, and girls like Jasmine are different, which later results in William overanalyzing Jasmine's advances, ultimately rejecting her sexual desires. So the question, of course, is, do you think Lars suggesting Jasmine wasn't his type affected Will's decision to reject/ice Jasmine?
In my personal opinion, I feel as though it did affect him because it was coming from a person who was supposed to be his friend. And you value your friends' opinions, even if they're not that close to you. William is the type of person who seems to latch in on what other people have to say, their opinions, his social status, and stuff like that. So I can understand why it affected him the way that it did. But as we are watching him gradually break down inside of his head while everything is going on with Jasmine, in his decision not to do it, I feel as though eventually he would have came to the same decision anyways, because he calls it the most mundane thing in existence. He thinks about how many other people she's done it with. He didn't feel as though his relationship with Jasmine was special and he didn't value it. So on one hand, yes, I think Lars affected his decision by pushing together what was already in the darkest parts of his mind to the forefront. And I'm not blaming Lars entirely for saying what he said, but I feel as though it did have a little bit of leeway into pushing William to make his decision.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much anybody can say anything really to make that person not want to either be with that person or talk to that person. Or if you have like a best friend that is friends with another best friend, kind of like when we were, you know, starting.
And I wanted you dead.
Yeah. He wanted to blow up my car with me inside.
I was going to slash her tires and blow her fucking car up because she was best friends with my best friend. So it's like, yo, hold on, wait, this is my friend. Who the fuck are you? Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
You know, but it was the power of suggestion that was in my mind. You know, she's telling me all these awesome, great things and then saying, oh, you know, but you're my best friend too. But it's like, hold on, wait, I've known you longer. So it poisons your thoughts.
Yeah. I think there's jealousy in that too.
Yeah.
I think that maybe
I absolutely believe that Lars was jealous of William.
Yeah, it's like, why not plant that seed of doubt so when he rejects her, she'll come either to me or I'll go to her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Also, her being drunk did not help.
Yeah.
we do.
Everyone in this,
Yeah.
everyone in this series, in this visual novel, should learn stop drinking.
Yeah, pretty
Just
much.
plain and simple.
But
Stop
they
drinking.
are college students that are under a lot of pressure.
I don't care how much pressure you're under. Care about your health. Don't drink, people.
Shouldn't have told her about last night, huh?
Guys are worse.
I know. But I think that I just think suggestion in itself is very powerful. I see online every now and again, because, you know, certain websites steal your cookies and sell them to third parties. We're not calling anyone out on that. I got a advertisement where it's this guy who's like this alpha male, this big fit dude, and he's poisoning the thoughts of people. You have to be 6'4". You have to be skinny as a fucking stick. You gotta have muscles and abs. And he's saying, like, if you're an alpha man, if you're this big, if you are a man physically, you have to be this way. You have to dress like this. So then people are watching this, hundreds and thousands and millions of people, are men mostly, are watching this, and they're thinking in their head, oh, I have to stand up. I gotta poke my chest out. Hey, woman, let me hit you in the head and bring you back to my cave. Like suggestion is such a bitch, because how do you decipher what's actually going to help you and what's actually going to harm you?
I think also with you saying that too, like, I'm not going to just say women because everybody is like this, but mainly with women, like, if we aren't a certain type of body, then we get shamed for it. Like, bigger people do, well, if you're not this, then you're not beautiful, or you're not worthy of yourself, or you're not capable of doing this. Everybody is as equal as everybody, or at least should be.
Yeah.
So if I want to go outside with a halter top on and booty shorts on and walk around, that's my decision. But I know that my husband isn't going to like it very much.
Fuck no.
But I should still have that confidence in myself to be like, okay, I know I'm going to look good when I go outside, because that skinny person over there, or that smaller person, or whatever, looks good with it.
Yeah, that stigma,
and I think
it shouldn't exist,
Yeah, and then it's like, and then when we have like the weight loss commercials and stuff, and it's like,
right,
where is there ever a weight gain commercial? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure there's people that need to or want to, but they just physically can't.
Their metabolism's like the Flash, just running.
Like, I have a couple people at work that are like they need that, and they've even said, like, I really do need whatever, but they constantly are just eating and they can't get it because they're burning too much energy. And I feel like we so talk about people, about their appearance, that we don't actually look and see like how they are as a person. And then people, like, they think that, okay, well, that person's gorgeous, they must have a great attitude. But then it's like, the way that I look at people in this world is like, if you have a shitty ass attitude or whatever, then you're ugly to me. You could be freaking Jennifer Lopez and have a shitty ass attitude, and I'm not gonna like you at all. You know what I mean? And we all have our days, but I feel like the way you treat people and the way that you talk to people deflect on who you're showing to them.
Yeah, who you are.
In the shortest way, I can say I totally agree with you. What it is that your attitude, your personality, your projection of who you are inside cultivates the appearance that you give to other people. And that is why they decided to call people shallow, who only care about people's physical appearance. If physical appearance is all you're after, then go ahead, have a fucking field day, but it's not going to make up for the ugliness that is inside that person's brain, that is in their soul, that spews out of their mouth. And when you talk about things with the representation, it's like you see weight loss commercials, but no weight gain commercials. The media has basically thrown this idea that every is 5'7", blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, and there's no representation for other colors.
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of freaking pop-ups that ads about girls with hourglass figures, long, beautiful hair, and it's just like, there's a way for you to get like that, but do we really have to be shamed into trying to get that? Like,
Right.
Really? And there is sometimes no way to get the body that you want when you think about the body that you're in. I am 4'7". I'm not going to magically shoot over 1.5 feet taller in order to make my body proportions what I want them to be. That's just never going to happen. It's physically impossible. We don't even have plastic surgery to make that happen, and we don't have the money for it. So, whatever.
Basically, I was reading a comic and it shows a girl. She's scary, she's like horrifying, but she's really sweet and beautiful on the inside. And all the guy she was supposed to marry cares about is her appearance. He didn't care about anything else, just how she looks. But over time, he came to realize, wait, she's actually beautiful. Her appearance should not matter. That should never matter to anybody. It's on the inside, not the outside. Don't be
I feel like everybody should really rewatch Beauty and the Beast because it's literally
it's a good demonstration.
The story behind on why he's that way and turned into a beast to begin with is because of the old woman and how he treated her, and that's why he got cursed, because he was like, you're ugly and you're old and get the hell out of here.
Well, guess what, bitch? Now you're a fucking monster.
And it took like a true person when Belle came in there, like.
And for all we know, Belle could be the ugliest bitch on the earth, but because her inside is pure, it changes our perception of her. We see Belle as this beautiful woman
that can sing and just
she can sing, she can do cook, she can clean, she talks to fucking furniture. She might be a little loony, but she's beautiful. She has this grand, great soul gem inside of her. But in reality, she could be the ugliest bitch. She could look like the fucking hag that poisoned the chick with the apple. She could look like that.
Dead by Daylight?
And the sad thing is, Phil, that's like
the Grand High Witch. That's also another one. The Grand High fucking Witch. In that story, they're changing little boys into mice and shit, and they come off as these ugly, hideous, fucked up creatures, shit that you wouldn't want to see in your nightmares, you know?
But then that's their cover is like these beautiful people that
these old useless women that, oh, come on, grandma, let me walk you across, and then that bitch take off her wig. You know, but that's how we are. We wear these masks. We try to hide who we are. Our suggesting that inner self is like, you know what, I'm just gonna be whatever. Okay, a good example again is our Karen last night.
Oh my goodness,
we are in Dairy Queen. This van has been sitting there. We got there.
You guys went to Dairy Queen. We were about to go.
Really? You wouldn't have wanted to.
You wouldn't have wanted to.
You would have never got there.
We went there. We got there at like what, 9:07?
No, 9:01. We got there. We did not get to that.
We were outside at that time. We went to the gas station and got the lollipops, and she threw her ice cream in the trash.
By accident. I was tossing her wrapper out, and my ice cream went with it.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
Damn. But yeah, we didn't get to the front. Like, we ordered at like what? I'd say 9:05, and did not get to that fucking window until 9:21. This van took 20 minutes to get all their shit. So we assume, you know, it's really busy or they ordered a lot of shit. Truck goes, they're in and out like that. They get their shit, they keep going. We go up, talking to the guy, he looks tired as hell.
Like literally not
like,
even
2 seconds.
2 seconds of us pulling up and saying hello to this man. This fucking Karen,
she just
comes around the thing. Excuse me,
like,
you guys missed my ranch.
Like,
and he's like, ma'am, we ran out.
Like, we don't have anything.
We don't have any more because we make it ourselves here. And she's like, well, can you make some more? And he's like, ma'am, we are out. Well, can you have somebody else make some? Needless to say, there's like 4 or 5 more cars behind.
And people still pulling in. It's like, bitch, we just sat behind that van for 20 minutes. You were the next person in line. So obviously, why would they go out of their way to make you some fucking ranch when they got a billion cars?
Also, don't they close at 10?
Yeah, they close literally in the next like what, 20, 25 minutes, and you want some goddamn ranch?
And then she proceeds to tell the man that if she wasn't going to get her ranch, then she wasn't going to order her chicken strips or whatever it was. And he's like, ma'am, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, he's explaining to her, and he's like trying to just tell her, like, we don't have even the ingredients to make anymore. And she's just like downgrading this man, and I was just like,
I wanted to roll the window down. I had a few too much to drink, and she's just like, honey, stop. And I'm just like, yo, I wanted to say, bitch, he ain't got no goddamn ranch. Get the fuck out of here exercising that white shit. Leave this black man alone. Get the fuck out of here. You want some fucking ranch? Go to the goddamn war. Get it. Get gone. We've been waiting 20 minutes to eat, and you got your food. 2 seconds. It took you 2 seconds. All right? It took that man 20 minutes. I'm hungry, damn it. But I couldn't do that, right? I had to internalize, right? But in my head, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like if I wasn't there, and
if she wasn't
like,
there, I would have been going to jail.
Yeah,
verbally abusing some
but
poor old lady.
It made him feel like somebody actually like cared about his feelings in the situation, because
we were polite.
We were,
Very.
And like we were like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Like I was like really sickened by her attitude, and it's just like our previous video that we did or whatever. It's about this whole racism thing. Yeah. It's fucked up. You know, and I even told the man, I was like, that's white privilege for you right there. Because she feels like she's entitled. She's entitled.
You can get in front of all these cars, all these people who've been waiting, you know, to get their food, interrupt that to get what you want. Bitch, if you don't go sit down, you didn't pay for that goddamn, you didn't pay for it. You didn't pay for it, Karen. Leave us alone. We want to eat. Excuse me. I gotta take it down a little. Your host is getting angry. Fucking Karen, sit down. Take this as, I swear if this goes viral because of Karen, I'm going to kill people. Karen, let me tell you, we don't care anymore. We will not take your shit any longer. Vote for me for president. I will exterminate all the Karens of the world. We will put them in a cell and we will laugh at them.
You might actually win.
You
might actually win.
Yes. Yes.
We should get shirts made up.
Yeah.
Wear them.
Now I'll pose like this.
Yeah.
Or
I'll pose like this. Vote for us. We got plushies and we'll get rid of them.
Yeah. All my supporters, free plushies.
To get rid of Karens, my objective is to build another planet in which I can reside peacefully away from humanity.
I need one of those too. I'd be the president of that.
I'll be your vice president.
Oh, God.
It's called Project Escape Earth.
Really?
We're off topic from the Raintime, so let's bring it back around to that, please.
But I feel like it does go full circle because it's still the power of suggestion. Yeah. She suggested that he stop what he does to do what she wanted. You know, Lars suggested that what William was assessing to do isn't going to work because of how he personally views this girl, how she personally might view herself, you know, as far as her drinking and sleeping with other people, etc.
And for all he knew, she's never been with anybody.
Exactly. But because Lars implanted that worm that, oh, you know, she's different, you're too nice. So now he's like, okay, I'm just being me, but maybe I am too nice. And all he's thinking about, you know, like a girl is coming on to you, she's trying to get you to unbutton her, and she's looking all sexy and feeling all good.
And then your hand cramps up.
Yeah, and he's thinking, oh, man, I really got to go to the bathroom. Man, she's a fucking slut. Did she do this to everybody? Assuming, because that little earworm was put in there. So it's like, imagine if literally she only had the hots for William. Imagine she only really wanted to get close to him, and she knew that the only way she would loosen up, not judge herself, not judge what she is or who she is by drinking just a little. Maybe it was her first time drinking. Maybe she's just a chronic smoker who deals with her stress that way. So to get the guy that she originally actually wanted, she had to drink a little. But because it was suggested that you're too nice, she's probably a whore, you shouldn't go for it, you know? So now he's like, oh man, I wonder how many others there are. And he's like, oh man, I really gotta pee through the whole fucking thing. Why didn't I go to the bathroom? Like, what the fuck does that have to do? Like, dude, you're about to get the going.
I think what
Good.
he wanted to go to the bathroom is maybe if I asked for her to go to the bathroom, I could easily escape out the window. Just give
He
me
He
this
was
whole entire
looking
night.
for escapism 100%, which was not great in the first place because he wanted that situation to come forth. He wanted it, and then when he had it, he no longer wanted it. And I think that's a good indicator of William's personality in the first place, is that there's something about him that is particularly lofty, and that's not really a quality you would give to a main character. Most main characters have this steadfast approach where they know exactly what it is, what they want to do. They know what their dreams are, and they know what they're going to be achieving in the end. William, as he goes throughout his daily basis, is listless. He's listless. He's undefined. He has absolutely no clue what he's doing, only that he's doing it, that he's going through the motions of his daily life, and he's living the best way that he can live while dealing with depression, while dealing with the drinking, while dealing with his hectic class schedules and the vigorous, crazy friendships that he has to tolerate. He's doing his best, and he's doing it in a very humane way. A lot of the Raintime preaches on him losing his grasp on reality, but the thing is, we're watching, it feels like us who are reading the visual novel, who are playing it, we're getting a glimpse at our own kind of reality inside of this video game, and that's why this game is one of the things that I would definitely recommend for people to play. If you are a non-standard person who lives a life that is shut in and doesn't really know what normal life is like, and you want to experience what it is that neurotypical people experience, this is the game for you.
Definitely.
It's been a real eye-opener for me as someone who's lived a life with only the responsibilities that they've personally wanted to take on, as someone who is forced to take on responsibilities, which is what William is doing. He's going through the motions of being an adult as what people define adults to be. So it's just all really interesting. The game itself is lovely, and I would definitely recommend it to people.
It kind of feels like well, the whole him being shut in. It kind of feels like when he's outside interacting with people, it kind of feels like he just walks straight into water, and his body's just trying to get with the flow. It just feels like he's pretty much drunk and he's not really there. Like his soul isn't there; it's just his body. He's just sitting in the background watching everything.
He's an empty shell.
Yeah. This is like a real. If you're going through so much stuff, you can definitely relate to this game. People should play it a lot more.
That's what I said when I first found it. I'm looking at it like, this looks really different. I'm scrolling through Steam, and I'm like, all right, I want to make a gaming channel. I want to do things like this. This is something I've always had since we were like 6 and 7 years old, or 5 to 7. Playing video games. That's all my life has been. And it's like, I see this game and it catches my attention because it's like this dark, this shadiness to it, and I'm looking like, I'm gonna go with that one. That's gonna be the game I do. And I'm so proud of myself. Hindsight is 2020 that I did this. I got to speak with the developers, and Ian, you're awesome. Shout out to Ian. He's freaking awesome. He's really sweet. Yes, we give him a round of applause.
We had a couple shots for you last night.
Yeah, we'll have that video coming up next. It's like the game itself tells so many tales. The further you go along, it's like you start to see him lose himself more, and I feel like it is a good metaphor for life. We were just talking about it the other day. As kids, we had these Nokia phones, these big ass phones, and we thought we was the shit, walking around with this big ass telephone book. Hey, yo, where you at, homie? And then the chirp phones come out. Cheat cheat, yo, what's up, dude? Cheat cheat, hey man, I'm down 4th Street or whatever. Come hang out. And now look at us. We got tablets. When I was 6 years old, I didn't even think I should make a fucking tablet. But here's Steve Jobs. I got them tablets, y'all. So as time goes on, we start to lose ourselves more and more. I can say the most thing I lost myself at as a child was video games. Before I figured out girls and relationships and all that, all I wanted to do was play video games. And now the older I am, I've got 2 laptops. I've got God knows how many freaking phones. I got one tablet right now, just one. I'll probably have more in the next 10 years. Yeah.
Say it louder.
I have 3.
Oh,
3 tablets.
And I
geez.
don't know how many phones. But mine is more about art. Like
Yeah.
when you was really younger, it's all nostalgia and oh my gosh, the world is so beautiful. But once you get older, it's like the world is taking all that nostalgia, just taking pieces of you, and you're just you can't really do nothing but go along with it.
Yeah, you gotta pay bills. You know, as a kid, you don't know what the fucking bill is. All you know is mommy, daddy, feed me. I'm hungry.
Like $20 was basically the shit. Now you're like,
Yeah.
$20 ain't gonna do nothing for me.
Yeah, can't even pay my rent with that shit. You know,
I could say
That's not
I
even
testified
a
to
tank of
be-
gas.
right? Yeah.
I testified to being one of the children who was self-aware of what the adult world was actually like, and it's a large part of the reason why I chose to just enjoy my time as a child, and even now I'm still enjoying my time as a child. As like when I was younger, I knew what bills were, I knew what a paycheck was, I knew what responsibilities were, what chores were. It didn't all go over my head. In fact, I was more like a sponge, and I absorbed it, and I realized, I don't want this.
See, she absorbed it, and I deflected it. I was like, bills, nope. Grab that controller. They were like, oh, responsibility, nope, not on me. Grab that controller. You know, life expectations thrown at me. Whoa, I'm leaning back. Nope, you ain't touching me with that shit. She got the better genes with that. I did not. It skipped me. I moved out of the way.
Consider better genes, to be precise. You had life expectations thrown at you. I was given, hey, this is a jar. This is called life expectations. Put something in it. Put a dream in it. And I was just like, I have nothing to go there. But hey, I'm going to go watch some anime.
Yeah. Like I tried my best to be somebody, and I cannot say that it. At first, it went so well. I was emancipated at 15 years old. Went to go, live on campus, and let me tell you, I thought I knew what I was doing. You get fed as kids these suggestions, right? That this is how things are supposed to be. And when I actually got thrown directly in the pit with the lions, they tore my ass up. Okay, I got fucked up at that school a lot. Like, I made great friends I'm still friends with, and it's been 10 plus years. I love them. They're my group. I know that if something were to happen to me, I would like to assume that they would celebrate the life that I had, But at that moment, I was like, oh man, I don't want to be a fucking adult. I want to go home. I want to play video games. I need to go home. Like, I was constantly sending letters back home, and my mother responded one time. Too bad, tough shit. Oh, fuck, I'm all alone. So I had to force myself to make friends. I had to force myself out of my dorm room.
I feel like that's
hard.
kind of one of the reasons why, like, we do try to teach our kid, like, more above her age, because we want her to be prepared.
How do you prepare? Like, it'd be cool if we were all born and our umbilical cords had like fucking a life book. It'd be probably like this thick.
It'd be
like,
bigger than that. Yeah.
It'd have all the rules. Yeah, all the laws, but then it's so many contradictions to laws. Like jaywalking, you're not supposed to walk across the street if the light isn't the right color.
I do it all the time.
I've been doing this.
A lot of people do it. It's just a lot of people do it.
So how do you?
I do it because I believe I'm Sonic the Hedgehog and nothing will ever hit me.
Gotta go fast, grandparent.
Be prepared for life.
Yeah, it's how do you decide what rules to follow and what not to? How do you decide who to listen to and who not to? How do you decide?
It's very simple when you chalk it down to yourself, because you are one person, you're one body. You only listen to yourself, you follow your own rules. You make rules and establish them for yourself. That is why some people go to jail, because they're absolutely loony. But I could say that I fall in the loony category, but my rules have only kept me protected so far. Yeah. I've not had any crazy situations that have been more than what I can handle, because I don't take on more than I can handle.
The moral of the story, kids, don't grow up too fast. It's gonna suck.
The moral of the story is make things easy for yourself because everyone else is out to make things hard for you.
And isn't that what I say? That the world would be so much easier, but it's us. We stop our progress and we stop other people's progress. You know, like I seen a post where somebody was complaining about the whole $600 for people with unemployment. Oh, they don't deserve it. They sit on their ass all day. So you're saying that it's okay that a virus is going around killing people and people who deserve to eat and pay for their children and pay for their rent shouldn't? How does that fair? But because you work, you should be entitled to this extra $600. Think about it. We're all fighting the same damn race here. And for some people, yeah, if all they have to do is sit on their ass to get that, they still deserve that. They are no less a human being because of the circumstances that none of us asked for.
I think the reason
As a disabled person, it's very important for people to understand that sitting on your ass is not always voluntary. It is sometimes mandatory for your own personal health and your situation.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't put a disabled person in the workforce knowing that they have things that consistently work against them.
Yeah, basically like giving a small child a gun and putting them on the battlefield. They don't know what to do.
Probably
So why would you do that to anyone else?
Yeah. It's like I feel like it's so easy to suggest things and to judge things without actually looking at that person's environment. I don't know. I really don't care. Honestly, I've said it so many times, been saying it since I was young. I don't care who you are, what color you are. If you're fat, skinny, thin, tiny, midget, fucking giant, I
take
really
offense.
don't care. It's okay. We know. We still love your kind. You know, you're a little short and stout. You know, we'll pour your tea out for you. We still love you.
For me, I can't do it.
But I feel like if the world was more like that, more open, like if you see an old lady who needs help across the street, she's dropping her bags and shit, why would you sit in your car and watch? I'm that kind of guy that I'm going to...
Or the people that record this.
Yeah, look at this little old lady. Oh, no, I'm going to put my shit in park. You want to go around my car? That's perfectly fine, but I'm going to go help that lady. Because just as easily in the next 20, 30 years, that could be me. It could be you. You know, I mean, I know it's so easy for us to pass judgment on to other people because of our own personal biases. You know, we experience life not entirely the same way everybody else does. We all experience and perceive things differently. So I think that it corrupts the way we act towards other people. Like if you're somebody who's not used to getting a handout, when somebody actually gives you something, you don't know how to take it. You're like, whoa, hey, what the fuck? I'm not poor. Get the fuck away from me with that shit. You know?
You do that all the time. Like if we go somewhere and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay for the food. You're like,
what the fuck?
Why?
I'm not poor.
No.
I can do it myself, Mom. You know?
This is 2020. Let her pay for the food.
No. But it's right. You know, like we okay, I'm watching this show called what is it? Shameless.
Oh god.
There's the drunk father, typical, and he's got what, like 6, 7, 8 kids. And they're all ranging from teenagers to like the new one is like 14 months old and he's walking around, a little black kid. His whole family's all white. So every time whenever people see them, they're like, you know, where'd you get that baby? And they're like, that's my little brother. And they're, oh yeah, okay, you know. So this girl, the oldest, she falls in love with this guy who she perceives as rich, and he's set up this whole scheme. Where what he does,
know, you should have really put a disclaimer.
Oh yeah,
there.
disclaimer.
Sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert! If you're watching Shameless, but it's pretty good. You know, he buys them this brand new washer.
Yeah.
And she's looking at it like, whoa, what? I didn't, you know, like this is the right address, this is the place, you know, the people are bringing it to, but I didn't order that. Like, I don't have the fucking money for that. Me and my siblings go around the table dropping in change just to pay the electricity bill. So how the fuck are we to afford something that probably costs thousands of dollars? And here it is, the guy she's been seeing, the guy she insists is rich, is doing this. So she finds out later he's actually not really as rich and entitled as he gives off. He steals cars and sells them. Preferably people who come to this restaurant. He pays everybody off, takes the cars, and he fucking, you know, drives them off and sells them. So it's like we live in this world where we think that everything is so black and white. You're either this or you're either that. You know, you're either Team Democrat or Team Republic. There's no silver lining. You're either on the blue team or the red team. You have to be this or that. Well, I'm sorry, but it's always been this way. There's always that gray line. And I feel like the Raintime really pulls that out and lets us see that. What you got?
The thing about black and white is there are some people who objectively know that gray is everywhere. Or in my case, you don't ever perceive gray, but you see a myriad of other colors instead. And in order to simplify things for yourself, you force it to be black and white. Yeah. I am only ever one extreme or the other. And it's so that I can make things easier for myself. Because again, it comes back around to making personal rules for yourself so that you can protect your own mental health and your own well-being. In-depth conversation isn't exactly something that I would particularly say that I excel in, but I really love having conversations with you guys. It's fun. It's stimulating. But would you catch me doing this on a daily basis?
Hell no.
It's way too complicated to have this kind of conversation with a set of people who I don't know. And that's why I limit it to the range of the people that I do know and that I do enjoy, that I don't have any trouble voicing my opinion with. And even when you do have conflicting opinions, it's all open for discussion because people need to, at the end of the day, learn to be more accepting. And if you have to dumb things down for yourself so that you're able to survive and move forward and process things, there is nothing wrong with that. There is a lot of shaming going on considering people who have an issue with indecision. They yell about the person who stands in Starbucks and they look at the board for 45 minutes because they don't know what they want. And even if they're not in line, people will still complain, wow, how long's that person been there? Just get what everyone else is suggesting. You have to make your decisions for yourself. Yep. Don't let anyone tell you that it's bad to overthink your decisions or to have to dumb your decisions down to make them more tolerable.
So then that gives me a question. I guess we'll call this a bonus question. After everything you just said, do we believe that is why William has that very small course of friends that he has? Lars, Bernard, the chick whose name I've forgotten. And when that guy who gave out the flyers, as well as other people that he interacts with, you know, like Corey from episode 1, he seems to have these brittle conversations with. Whereas with this small pack of friends, he sticks to. I'll give it spoiler. He never makes any other friends. It's these same people.
Yeah.
I think part of William's thing is, too, that with the situations and the friendships that he has fostered, all of them are toxic, and he has a hard time breaking away from that because that is the treatment that William knows and he understands. So he's thinking that if he branches out and if he makes any more friends, what are the chances they're going to treat him worse off than what he's already been getting, and that he should settle for what he already has because what he has already isn't really technically all that bad. But I am this far in, so I would think that William should hopefully by some point in time realize that what he has, though he considers it to be not all that bad, it's actually terrible. I want him to realize that his relationships are terrible.
Okay.
Not everybody's your friend, people.
Yeah.
Even if they pretend to be, they are not your friends.
I got first hand in that shit.
That part hit a little bit too close to home. Small group of friends who get scared to branch out. Yeah, that hit way too close.
Yeah.
I think, throughout the game, I'm pretty sure he suffered through a lot of trauma. That's the reason why he's only sticking to that close of friends. And even though his friends treat him like shit, he says, what else am I going to do? I've been friends with them for I don't know how long. I don't know anything else. And I'm pretty sure they probably told him, if you leave us, you'll be alone. People are going to hurt you. So why not stay with us? We may treat you bad, but at least you know us. You knew us for a long period of time. You know what we're going to do to you. You just got to shut up and take it, or else you're going to be alone in this world.
A gag in his mouth.
I feel like
yeah,
that
put a collar on him.
I feel like that has to. Okay. maybe not. I was gonna say that it might be how people that do have like Munchausen's by proxy, how they think, because they do physically mean well, like they physically and mentally feel like this is happening or this is what's wrong or whatever. We all know that, well, we all know the story about Gypsy Rose. Everybody knows the story about Gypsy Rose. There's movies about it, and then Eminem and his mom, and you know, there's a lot of cases about it, and the person that is doing it to these people that they're supposed to be caring for, they think that it's fine because it's
already in their
minds
that this is okay.
And I think that plays a big part too when you have like fake friends, or you know what I'm saying. It's not physically that, I don't want to say disease because that makes it sound bad, but I mean it is bad, but
we'll say affliction. I think that's it. Yeah.
But it is kind of the same in a sense, because it's like, you know what you're doing is wrong, or what you're saying to that person that you care about is wrong, but yet you continue
you do it because you know they'll bite
stay.
The bullet. It reels them in and keeps
Yeah.
them there. You know, like
basically Mean Girl syndrome, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the characters who are in the game need to take a step back and look at themselves and look at the way that they're treating William before deciding that they are going to interact with him any longer. And I feel like that goes for a lot of people in life. If you're going to make friends, you should really, really think about what it is that you as a person bring to a table and what you two can accomplish together. And you need to think about the positives and the negatives. You can't just think about one or the other. And if your only positive at the end of the day is that I have this person to be with, you should stop.
Mm-hmm.
Because the closeness and the contact is not worth the pain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My pen disappeared? Oh. I found it. So
He loves Kitty, isn't that right?
Are those things making out now?
Yeah.
It got a little kinky over here. I think we should blur that out.
Blooper.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll wrap this up. Yeah, overall, like I said, I'll say it again. I feel strongly that the Raintime really magnifies what we have going on in the real world. And the abuse that so many people accept as normality. You know, we don't really fight against it because it's, you know, that tunnel vision. It's all we know. So when all these other clutters of things come towards us, we're, oh shit, it's falling. Get it away from me. What is that? You know, I feel like if he did get that chance with Jasmine, I feel like two things would happen. One, she would either be just as toxic or become as toxic as his surroundings because that's what he's used to, or she would bring him into a whole new world of what normal should be. You know, she would treat him so well that he would probably dump her because she's not like the surrounding circle, or he would break off from Lars and the rest of them.
And I feel like that's when things would get really bad.
Really bad, because Lars and them are like, hold on, wait, puppy bitch, get over here. You know, you should be under our thumb. You know, your girlfriend's controlling. Like, we see relationships like that with men. You know, your girlfriend, she's doing too much. She's changing you, man. We don't know you anymore. You're not around.
Yeah,
come back to us.
We can't go to the strip club every
exactly,
single
because
night no more.
They've been stripped of that control. They no longer have that control.
And it's like, well, dude, I'm married now and I have 6 kids. And
right, I can't do that shit.
I'm married with 6 kids. This is my baby.
Oh, okay. William is basically that meme where the dog is sitting in the burning room and he's just like, I'm fine. This is fine. That's pretty much his life right now with his toxic friends.
Yeah, the fucking roof's falling in. Oh, that's okay. It'll fix itself.
Yep.
Somebody got a bone? Like, dude, you're in a fucking burning house. Get the fuck out of there, you know? But, I mean, you become a product of your environment. You know, when you have nothing but the same shit going on over and over and over and over and over, you
like our last video.
Yeah, you become numb to it. We just accept it.
Our normal.
Yeah. So if you're used to getting the shit beat out of you every day, you just come to expect it. Okay, let me take my shirt off and my clothes off. Give me the beating, daddy. You know, because you're
until somebody actually stops it. Like
Exactly.
hopefully the girl will actually come and say, your friends aren't treating you right. You should probably branch off and come to me, and maybe I can help you figure all this out and get you some help and get you new friends. I'm actually waiting for that. I want to see that drama.
I'd like to say that's what happens, but I'm so sorry. It won't be her that saves him. He really has to.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer. Sometimes we have to really dig deep inside ourselves and re-enhance the vision that we have of what we want our lives to be. And it's our responsibility to fix that. So if you have toxic friends and you know they're bad for you, get the fuck away from them. Today will be the beginning of the end. Tell yourself, I will no longer be a victim. I will no longer listen to your bullshit. Fuck you and everything you stand for. I'm going to go get ice cream.
I don't think
and you get that ice cream.
I don't think that people
Well, no, they're not going
like
to see it.
No, listen. I don't think people like to refer to themselves as victims. They're more of survivors when it comes to certain things.
Good point.
So we're not saying that you guys are victims. You guys are survivors. For dealing with what you have gone through in your life.
You kick ass. And then
round of applause.
Kick their ass while you're doing it. Yeah. I like this conversation.
Good.
All right.
It's a very good conversation, and thank you for having us on today.
No problem.
This was really
I appreciate being here. Yeah. I'm your host, #Liizen with
Miss Brittany.
There you go. And our other people that we found on the highway.
No, we didn't.
We did.
We didn't.
That's
I simply choose to refer to myself as Chicky. I'm kidding. I am just kidding. I'm just a random person. Ignore me.
There you go. All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. You're so silly.